Hey guys, it's the Gelfman. Welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about another song I made about a year ago called Smooth Legacy. It's another song in my EP Exuberance. Smooth Legacy is one of my favorite songs in the EP because it exceeded my expectations. There's a lot of things that I added that I hadn't worked with before, and there were some instruments that I'm very familiar with that I tested around in different ways. So we're going to be talking about the elements of the song, how it came to be, and a fun little story towards the end. So stick around and let's find out. So in the beginning of Smooth Legacy, you might have heard a familiar instrument, the piano, the drums, and a synthesizer. I love working with those instruments, and it really helped too because the whole theme was to kind of match something that came out of a jazz club, at least in the beginning segment of the song. I wanted something that was cool and sleek, something that kind of sounded like it came from Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is an amazing anime that I love, and it references a lot of jazz and blues and such. I wanted something to be as cool as that. And tying it all together, the instruments really did fit that theme, and then they blossom into something more. So another thing I want to talk about in this song is that the thing that I've come to learn by making many mistakes is that in a song, you have to break it apart. What does that mean? That means that when you have a chord progression going, whether it's a certain tempo or not, like Allegro, right? What you need to do is you need to then break the song because otherwise it can sound repetitive. So the way I break the song is by including vocals. Now, I wanted the vocals to not be dominating the song, at least not yet. What I wanted was vocals that could support the instruments but kind of segue into something else. And that's what I ended up doing with these vocals right here. After I implemented those vocals, what I ended up doing next was I added the horns. The thing I want to specify too is that the horns are a really interesting instrument because they could be loud and abrasive or quiet or rhythmic, right? There's different ways you can work with them. So when it goes do 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 do, I wanted it to segue into something else, and I thought that was an amazing use of this instrument. So when it segues into the other element, that was with vocals. That is where the vocals then start to really dominate the song and change the direction of it. And the vocals were done by an amazing friend of mine. His name is Nate James. So let me tell an interesting story. I wanted to do something different in the song. That's always my goal. What is it that I could do differently? How can I grow? What is it that I can do that will kind of captivate listeners, right? And in this case, it was having another artist on board. So it wasn't easy. When I was making the song, I wanted to add vocals to it, and I have an untrained voice, so I couldn't use mine. Maybe I'll sing one day, but right now I was looking for another artist. So I went on YouTube, I went on different websites, and I tried figuring out who can be a part of this song. I eventually stumbled onto a musician, Nate James, and he is incredibly gifted, incredibly talented. I was listening to a lot of his works. On my first monitor, I had the song, and on the second monitor, I had his vocals. And I had them both playing at the same time in a certain segment, and it came out wonderfully. I was blown away even, because I just thought, whoa, this is different, this is super cool, this matches perfectly. So after working with him and chatting with him and seeing how we can maybe get it to go, it worked out, and that's how his vocals ended up in the song.
Look left, look right, and I come with a hook right. Woo! Hook right, hook right. This what the angles look like. Way up, stood high, taking the view when it look right. And oh, it's the good life, whipping the sauce when I cook like. Whoa.
I got the honor to really collaborate with this guy and to chat with him, and he was just so fun. He was so delightful. I'll leave a link to his channel down below if you're interested in checking him out. I'd highly recommend it. So a huge thank you to Nate James. He's such a good friend. So again, I'll leave the link down below. And there you go. That is how Smooth Legacy came about. I hope you guys enjoyed the song, and yep, I will see you in the next one. Until then.